Welcome to the Domestic Abuse Breakthrough Show, where we tackle domestic abuse, coercive control, and violence through education, awareness, and real understanding. I'm your host, Kate Beasley, trauma-informed domestic abuse and risk assessment specialist, behavioural analyst, and trainer. But I'm also a survivor, just like many of you listening here today. This show contains a trigger warning. So welcome to the relaunch of the Domestic Abuse Breakthrough Show. I'm Kate Beasley, and I'm a trauma-informed domestic abuse and risk assessment specialist, behavioural analyst, and trainer. So why the relaunch? For those of you who aren't familiar with the Domestic Abuse Breakthrough Show, for the last 18 months, this show has lived successfully on UK Health Radio. We were actually voted, we came second in the UK Health Radio Awards in 2025 for the most favourite show to listen to, which was really quite an achievement and quite an honour, to be honest with you. Because the thing is, with the radio show, you never actually know who's listening to you. So that was really good to know that the work that I am doing is really helping people. So why have I moved over onto our own platform? I have moved over onto our own platform for a couple of reasons. One, because I am the founding director of a community interest company, so I am really quite busy at the moment. Oh, I still have to edit these shows, of course I do, but it won't be quite as much editing as what it was for the UK Health Radio episodes. Also, I have more, at least I can use over on our own platform, I can use the show notes section to give you links to various different resources and tools and what have you. If there's any resources from guests that I have on, I can direct you to those also in the show notes without you having to go hunting for things. So it just makes things a little bit more user-friendly for me and for my listeners. I'm also a survivor myself. So not only have I trained intensively in various different aspects, from neuroscience, trauma, I'm training 2 psychosensory methods, abuse-related offences, coercive control, stalking, but I have also lived experience. I have been exactly where you all, those who are impacted by abuse, have walked. And actually, I'm still walking that path. I may be more equipped, but unfortunately, when you have a child with a person who has subjected you to that sort of treatment within a relationship, you never actually properly escape them. They can creep up out the woodwork at any point, and I know that firsthand. And this is exactly why I created, for our UK platform or within the CIC, a healing self-advocacy hub, so that victims can get access to the resources I've created that helps them use their voice more safely, more coherently, and more and communicate more articulately what has happened. And I know many people say that, well, I communicate everything, and that's the problem. We are as victims, in operating from the emotional part of our brain, we are trying to communicate lots of things that have happened over an extended period of time, years and years and years in many cases, into a small window of time. It's not helpful in communicating things clearly. So this is why I created the TITRA framework, to help you communicate what has happened in a way that professionals understand it better and can see the risks and can see the patterns more clearly. Now, yes, mistakes can still happen, because we have huge gaping holes in knowledge, which is exactly why this platform is not just for those navigating this process personally. This is for professionals also. My goal is to close those knowledge gaps. Yes, there are professionals out there who, frankly, don't care. They don't care enough to want to make a difference. It may be their job, but it doesn't mean that they are in the right job. But there are also many out there who do want to make a difference. And unfortunately, through no fault of their own, they don't have the knowledge, skills, or the experience that is required for this work. And that's not their fault. You only know what you're taught. You go to university and get a degree, and you expect to leave be fully equipped for the working world, for to enter that profession, and start to help people the way you wanted to help people. Sadly, it requires a lot of the time professionals to go out and do their own training, source their own additional training to gain those additional skills. But you don't know what you don't know until it's brought to your attention. So this show is also for professionals who want to make a difference, who really, really want to be part of the change. So every single week, I will be bringing to you either a bite-size session, 15, 20 minutes tops, where we will do a quick fire awareness session, usually linked to my weekly newsletters, which I started on LinkedIn also. So I will target those two in line with those newsletters also. And if I've got guests, then obviously there will be a longer episode where we are having a chat to survivors, to other professionals. I have a whole range of various different guests who join me. I have many professionals who have also had lived experience, and again, similar to myself, who got into this through their own experiences. I trained out of necessity. I didn't wake up one morning and think, I know this is what I'm going to do. I trained out of necessity. I trained because the knowledge gaps were so evident, and I didn't have the language to challenge the professionals, the police, the family court. I didn't have the language to challenge them. And I was left with feeling, I know what you're telling me is wrong, but who am I to challenge you? So I trained. You might not always be able to change the outcome because there's a lot of big egos, and unfortunately, hierarchy don't always like to admit that when they're wrong. But equally, there are people who are deemed as hierarchy, who are willing to listen. Unfortunately, with the professional services, it's a lottery. It's like rolling a dice. And what I will always say to anybody, please just keep reporting. You may have had a bad experience, and I get it why you don't want to report, but keep reporting. Keep getting your voice heard. And eventually you might get to somebody who sometimes all we need is common sense. Sometimes isn't necessarily a high level of skill. Some elements of domestic abuse and working within this space is down to common sense. Now, obviously, we can't get by solely on common sense. We do need a robust understanding and robust training behind us. Lived experience on top of that is the icing on the cake, but we need more and more. We need more trained survivors. So if you are interested in getting involved in this line of work, then please do reach out. Inquire about the training. It's CMA CPD accredited, as you can see just there. And the feedback from people who have done my training, other professionals, is very, very good. The feedback speaks for itself. So if you do have a passion for getting into this line of work, then, maybe this is maybe this is right for you. And if you are a professional and you do want to start to be part of the change, please do reach out and see, whether this is a right fit for you. But even if official training and certification isn't where you're at right now, tune in every single week and start learning. Hit play whilst you're on your commute in the car, but start learning. Start learning. And I promise you, this show will bring you that awareness that you need, regardless of whether you are you are navigating this process personally or you are a professional in the safeguarding space. Thank you for listening. If you're navigating abuse, you'll find support in the show notes. And if you're a professional looking to deepen your understanding, or a survivor ready to turn your lived experience into purpose and become part of the change, you can register your interest there as well. To close, I'm going to leave you with a track that was created to reflect the message behind this work and the reality many people are navigating every day. The song is called Rise Above. Until next time, stay aware, stay curious, and most importantly, stay safe.
Yo, everyone deserves peace, everyone deserves light. Not manipulation, control, not pain and not fright. If it's stealing your joy, then why you calling it love? We gotta break this cycle, we gotta rise above. And you can see the warning signs when the tone gets cold, when respect disappears and the lies unfold. Don't ignore the red flags when you seeing them clear. Nobody deserves to be trapped or living in fear. Yo, these small wounds now turn to big scars later. You gotta elevate, move on to something greater. Some people call it just a toxic love romance, but anything toxic ain't worth giving a chance. If you wanna know how this thing is really gonna end, pay attention to the signs you can see in advance. Yo, if it's true love, then why you feeling so small? Nah, true love wouldn't try to hurt you at all. It goes.
Said it's just love, but it don't feel right. Pain in my heart, crying tears all night. If it ain't real, I don't need that love. Time to break free, time to rise above. You said it's just love, but it don't feel right. Pain in my heart, crying tears all night. If it ain't real, I don't need that love. Time to break free, time to rise above.
So many trapped in the cycle and they can't break free. Don't ignore warning signs and negative energy. It ain't all rainbows and straight positivity, but nothing should take away your mental stability. Yo, violence always start when respect is gone. So if they showing disrespect, just leave them alone. Yo, it's time to elevate and you'll be fine on your own. You a king, you a queen, you belong on the throne. It goes.
Say it's just love, but it don't feel right. Pain in my heart, crying tears all night. If it ain't real, I don't need that love. Time to break free, time to rise above. You say it's just love, but it don't feel right. Pain in my heart, crying tears all night. If it ain't real, I don't need that love. Time to break free, time to rise above.
It's time to elevate, know what I'm saying? We gotta break the cycle. We gotta recognize abuse. We gotta recognize the patterns. You a king, you a queen. Respect yourself. Demand respect from others. Yeah.